Let us see about probability distribution curve of different electrons present in various subshells inside the atom. So this becomes a little complex here because you have to imagine a lot here. First of all, we just see what is probability, then we will see what is distribution, then we can see what is curve. Probability of an electron inside the atom we are talking about. Now, why probability has to be calculated? Because electron is not a particle so that we can locate inside the atom. It is behaving like a wave. That means we have to find out its presence inside the atom as a wave, not as a particle. In that case, what happens? Since it is a wave, it cannot be located at one location because it is moving and it is a wave like. Then I need to give some speed or some volume to that. For example, if I lit up a light inside a room, then where is light and how light is distributed inside the room? If I ask you, then what you can say is it is distributed all over the room uniformly, we can say, because light's speed is uniform and it is not get affected by any field, electrical or magnetic, present inside the room. If it is present inside the room, then it is not get affected. Unlike electron, though it is a wave, but it will be affected due to the field present inside the atom. What type of field I am talking about? That may be field exerted by the nucleus, or that may be field exerted by other electron. That's the reason why we are giving specific route for electron to revolve. Some are revolving spherically, some are revolving axially, some are revolving on the plane. So distribution of electrons are not uniform inside the atom. Maybe definitely those electrons moving spherically, they are present in all the axes. But the electrons who are moving in dumbbell manner in, let us say, x-axis, for example, if I'm talking about px, that is not distributed in all the axes. It is only distributed in particular axis. Then the distribution of distribution of electron, or probability of finding electron in other axis is meaningless. If I'm talking about electron moving in x-axis, then can you find that electron in y-axis? No, you cannot find it. That means its distribution only present along the x-axis, and probability, that means its presence, possibly it is along the x-axis. Now the problem comes whether, even if I'm talking about spherical shape orbitals like s orbital, is electron distributed uniformly all over that sphere? No, electron is not distributed uniformly inside the atom, even though it is moving in a spherical manner. When I say spherical, you may feel like, the situation here I have explained. So spherical means, even if you consider this as a fog or cloud of electron, this ball is definitely having the material, whatever it is made up of, uniform throughout this body. But if I imagine this as an electron which is revolving around the nucleus, there is no uniformity of electron is not distributed properly inside the atom because of their movement and because of the field it is experiencing inside the atom. So then I will come to a conclusion where exactly electron present. That cannot be understood, but I can at least understand probability of finding electron, somewhere maximum and somewhere minimum. I need to give some logical reason for that, where it will be maximum, where it will be minimum. So for that, let us understand this. I think you are now okay with the probability of finding electron, because electron is not a particle here, electron is a wave. We have to find out its probability of where it is present. There is a famous experiment for this to explain, like, Schrodinger cat experiment. When you don't know where exactly electron is, then you have to apply probability. Like, when cat is shut inside the let us say box. Now how will you find the electron, or what you believe, or what you think about about cat, whether it is died inside the box or whether it is alive? So he comes to a conclusion that it is half died and half alive, because 50-50 probability here. So he also believes that we as a normal person may think that, cat either died or alive. One of the we believe only one of the option is there. But it is actually not true. It says that half alive and half dead is the situation there. So now how to understand in physical sense, I don't know, but it is how you have to you have to think that it is half alive and half dead, because both are equally possible. So otherwise, one more example I can think of a situation, if you or if a student, if a child present in his room, and that room is containing one study table and one bedroom, one bed, another PlayStation area. Now outside the room, mom has to predict where he is exactly. Now the mom who is knowing about his her son, she can easily predict where her son is, whether he is in PlayStation, he is at PlayStation, whether he is on bed or whether he is at study table. If he is very intelligent student, she may think, predict or predict like electron sun may be present at study table. Or if he is very sleepy person, sleepy son, then he may be present on bed. Or if he is a gamer, then he will be present at PlayStation. So this is how we are finding the probability of somebody inside an unknown place. Here also same thing. We have a we have atom. Inside that we are not knowing exactly where electron is. Then we have to apply probability of distribution of electron inside the atom. So where all we can understand its presence. When I talk about, let us say, spherical thing, definitely I need to check its three values, that is x value, y value and z value, so that I can reach here. For example, imagine this pair of big size, or let me just use a pen here. Okay, so now think of a situation. I have to say locate this position. Let us say I wanted to locate this position. Then what are the values I can have? To reach till here, I need to have a x value and y value and z value. They are called as Cartesian coordinates. So by using x, y, z value, I can reach till here. There is one more way to reach here, by using polar coordinates. What is that? Polar coordinate is to reach here from center. I can have this length or this distance, which is radius. Okay, which is radius. So radius is one value. I need to know how far it is from the center, that is radius. Another is, if you closely look at this, by using angle also I can reach here, because if I consider, everybody knows that from here to here, if I consider angle as, let us say, theta, then from here to this particular plane must be theta minus 90. Why? Because from here to that plane is, the total angle is 90. So from here to here, if I consider theta, then from here to here, that is theta minus 90. So to reach till here, one length is needed, another is this angle is needed. So otherwise this angle, both are same. I am saying this has theta, then this has theta minus 90. So I need to know the one value there. So either this one or this one is fine. So that means theta I need to know. One more thing, I need to know the angle difference between these two also. So let me just put one line here on the plane of this particular plane. Then I will have a line drawn here on this particular plane till here. So that means I am cutting that particular plane like this. So that means I need to have this angle. I consider this angle as, let us say, phi. Then this has to be phi minus 90. So knowing one angle, I can reach till here just by knowing, because this angle and this angle and this length will tell me where this position is. So we are going to use polar coordinates to understand the position. Let me just draw that. The same thing in this diagram. So if I want to know this position, one way is by knowing the x, y, z value, that is by using Cartesian coordinates, or by using polar coordinates, that is how far it is from the distance from the center, that is what we consider radius r, and between these and this is theta, and this will be 90 minus theta, so total angle will be 90 there. This is 5, or this is 90 minus 5. So one of them we have to remember. You can consider this as 5 and this will be 90 minus 5. Or this can be theta, then this will be 90 minus theta. So that in that way you can say. So what does that mean? That means you can find out or locate or probability you can calculate your probability of finding electron. I symbolize as psi, the trident type of symbol called as psi, and where all I can find out by using Cartesian coordinates like xyz, or by using polar coordinates r, theta and phi. XYZ is also fine, but it is not useful. Why? Because we are talking about atom where angle wise also you have to check, or you have to check in terms of radius also, because we are talking about atom where radius also important, and how angle wise they are up away from each other. That's why polar coordinates becomes important. I can redistribute this into 2, that is 5 into of r or psi of theta and phi, because this is in terms of length and this is in terms of angle. So I will call it as radial probability, because in terms of radius we are going to understand where the electron is. This is angular probability, because here we are going to understand as per angle where the electron is. So here there is nothing like that, because all are the axes. But if you say in terms of radius and angle, then this can be distributed like this. Now remember here, in terms of finding angle, which becomes very difficult and which is not of our syllabus, which is out of our scope here, so we will stop this particular thing here itself. We are not going to understand that later. So we are going to understand this particular further now, radial probability, because we are interested in radius here. Radius of the atom is very important. This you can study later on wherever it is needed. If you do something in quantum mechanics, you can do that. So probability can be understood in different axes that can be converted into polar axis, polar coordinates. Then I'll dividing in terms of length and angle separately. In terms of length, that will be radial probability. In terms of angle, there are two angles, that is angular probability. Now understand something called as presence at some length or presence at some angle. For S orbital, since it is spherical in nature, definitely at particular length, that means at a particular distance from the nucleus, you can think of S electron. But you can also find electrons in all the angles also, because that is sphere. When I talk about sphere, then from the length I can say the distance is increasing. It has reached till here. Definitely at any distance you cannot find 1s electron for that matter. If I am talking about 1s, at any distance you cannot find. If I talk about 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, they are at particular distance from the nucleus. What about angle? Where they are present in all the angles? Yes, they are present in all the angles, because the shape is like that. Shape is spherical, that means in all the angles. See, it is any angle I can take, theta or phi, by using theta or phi. Any angle I can take, in all angle you can find its presence. Its probability of finding electron is there. So that means probability of finding in all the angles possible for s orbital at particular distance from the nucleus. Why I am saying at particular distance? Because at all distance you cannot think of 1s electron. 1s electron, if you consider at one particular distance, and 2s will be at the other distance. But as distance increases at particular position, you can find out 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s like that. But what about angle? In all the angles you can find, because the spherical shape makes that to happen. So s orbital, you have to say s electrons are present in all the possible all the possible values of, otherwise all the possible angles of theta and phi. So there is one more property you have to understand, something called as node. It is the position where probability of finding electron is 0. So wherever you won't find, not possible to find electron, then that particular part of inside the atom is called as node. Now question can be asked, like, is there any angular node for s orbital electron? You have to say no, there is no angular node. Why I am saying there is no angular node? Because of its shape, you can assume that in all the angles you can expect its presence. But at all distance you cannot expect presence, because distance wise it varies. 1s electron may not be present in all the distance. 2s electron cannot be present in all the distance. But 2s electron can be present in all the angles. 1s electron can be present in all the angles. So node is a place where you won't find electron. That means in any particular angle, if you won't find the electron, then I can say that particular electron has some angular node. And at particular distance, if you won't find that electron, then I can say it is having a radial node. So s orbital can have radial node. Why? Because s electron cannot be present in at all the distance. So at some distance it can be present, at other distance it cannot be present. So as I told you, 1s electron can be occupying only of this much of the space. And what about this distance? Can you find 1s electron? No, you cannot. Maybe you are not going to find absolutely, not all electrons will be present here. So 1s electron, 2s electron, 3s electron are distributed in different spheres. But they cover all the angles because they are in spherical nature. So remember, for s orbital, there is no angular node. There is no angular node because s electrons can be found in all the angles of theta and phi. Yes, s electron can have radial node. So s electron can have radial node because it cannot be present in all the radius. Now think of p orbital. If you think of p orbital, we know p orbital can be in x-axis, can be in y-axis, or can be in z-axis. So let us particularly assume one of the orbitals. Say I'm talking about px. Orbital, let us say. Now what happens? Now we know px orbital is distributed in x-axis only. Px orbital is distributed in x-axis only. Now you have to consider this as of dumbbell shape. For that purpose I may use this, but I can't use this. Okay. So dumbbell shape. So here you one dumbbell and here one dumbbell. If you think of this, here how much space it is occupying? See, it is not at all using this particular plane. It is not at all using this particular plane. But it is using this much of ball. That means this plane it is using, and this plane also. I hope you are going to understand this. This is z and this is x. So this is xz plane. And this is x and this is y. So this is yz plane. And I am talking about dumbbell here. So you can think of that dumbbell over there also. That means you can see how many planes it is using. It is, now don't consider two-dimensional thing. There's a three-dimensional thing here. You can think of one balloon here. When I talk about balloon, it has to use space plane of this as well as this. So when I say px orbital, it is lying in two planes. One is xy plane and xz plane. It is nowhere near that of yz because its presence reduces when it comes to center. Here also its presence reduces when it comes to center. That means whether px orbital is present in all the angles? No. It is not present in all the angles. At some place it is not at all present. That means for px, this yz plane is actually empty. That there you cannot find the px electron. Similarly, you can go for other py or pz also. If I am talking about py, so py is present here. So py orbital is using this particular plane as well as this particular plane. So py orbital is using yz plane and xz plane. It is not at all using xz plane. That means when I talk about py, you can think xz plane is xz is a plane where you cannot find py electron. When I go for pz, you can expect xy plane is not used by that. So in the case of p orbital, because of dumbbell shape, it distributes only in two planes. If I say px orbital distributes in xy and xz planes. So node, this particular is angular node, nodal plane you can say. So nodal plane is actually yz. Yz is the plane where you won't find px orbital. Similarly, I can also write for py orbital electron distribute in yz and xy plane, and node is at the plane which is xz. See, this is very easy to remember. Whatever spelling comes here, so use the plane which is having this. For example, xy, out of xy, yz, xz. Now if I am talking about px, then these two are having x, then use them. So one which is not having that, then consider that as nodal plane. Py, so there are two planes having y, so xy and yz. Xz will be the nodal plane. So for similarly you can go for pz. So distribution must be z. So that means there are two planes having z, so in yz and in xz. So nodal plane will be, so plane where you won't find that electron is nodal plane is xy. So here you can expect one nodal plane, angle where you cannot find p electrons. What about node radial node? Definitely you can expect here. Why? Because when I talk about 2px, let us say this is x and this is y. When I say 2px, so this is 2px, and this cannot be present at any distance. This has to be present at particular distance. When I say 3px, that is having bigger dumbbell, so 3px can be found till here. 4px is further bigger, so this is 4px. So is 2px present in any distance? No, it is present in particular distance only. Thereafter it will be stopped. Thereafter you can expect 3px electron. Then it will be stopped somewhere. Then 4px will start. So radial node will be definitely present. But in addition to radial node, you can expect one nodal plane also for p orbital. Now let us see D subshell. In the case of D subshell, we know they are having double dumbbell shape. Let me just take an example. One orbital I am using here, that is YZ. So we know that our dumbbells are at 45 degree from the axis. If I talk about YZ, DYZ orbital, electrons are distributed well on the plane. Now since they are on the plane of YZ, since I am talking about YZ, DYZ, you cannot expect them in XZ and DXY because they are fully placed on the plane YZ. So that means probability of finding these YZ electrons only on the plane of YZ. You cannot expect them on XZ and XY because that XY and YZ electrons are present. So that's why in the case of D, you can expect, if I talk about DXY, XZ, then probability of it being present at XZ plane. So where you cannot find is the node that is at YZ and at XY plane. Okay. What is the name of that orbital? At the same place it will be present, and other two planes will be node. Similarly for YZ also you can do that. For YZ, probability is of its presence is at YZ plane, and the node will be at, since it is YZ, so XY and XZ. So that means here angular node is possible. For each orbital there are two nodal planes you can expect here. So in the case of D, each D orbital has two nodal planes. Now I cannot easily tell you this for dz square because we know the shape is like this. This is around z axis. Okay, if I consider this as z, then one dumbbell is like this and another dumbbell is like this. So here it is very difficult to explain in 2D, otherwise you can understand this is the one place where, that's why it is called as conical node. So this is what, you can Google this and you can find out. This is the conical place, conical area or plane where there are two conical area there, you cannot find dz electron. So that's why again the planes or nodes will remain 2 for dz square also. But the shape is not like a plane, it is like a conical plane or conical node. So that sometimes questions are asked, what is the name of nodes of dz square, which is conical nodes or conical nodal plane you can say. But you have to remember each d orbital will have two nodal planes. Yes, radial node is possible, we will see about that in detail, how many are possible, but radial is possible. Why? Because when I talk about d xy, let us say dxy, I'm talking about dxy, 3dxy will be having definitely this one, 3dxy, this is 3dxy. What about 4dxy? That will be also on the same plane but the bigger in size, like this. So this is 4dxy. So 5dxy will be of another bigger one. So you cannot expect 3dxy in all the distance. So you can expect 3dxy only till some distance. That means other distance you cannot expect that 3dxy. Similarly 4dxy will be present somewhere. not in all the distance from the center to circumference of the atom. You won't expect all of them, or this particular electron in all that length. So there must be some node where you won't find, otherwise there must be some length radial node where you won't find that electron. So for f orbital, since we have not studied the names of the shapes as well as names of the orbital, it is very difficult to explain also. What we are going to do here is see the trend of angular node. Definitely radial node is possible, no doubt at all. But angular node, since we have not seen the shapes, what trend you can see here, for S there is not possible, that means there is 0 angular node. For P, 1 angular node, 1 nodal plane or 1 angular node. For D, 2 angular node. So for F, you can predict here each F orbital has 3 nodal plane. Now where it is, that is out of our scope. We cannot understand that right now because shapes are very difficult to understand. So that's why we just keep them as it is. But the trend, if you see how it is changing, S 0 angular node, P, S 0 angle because it is present in all the angles because of spherical nature. P having 1 nodal plane because of it is present in particular axis. So D and F are followed by 2 and 3 nodes. This you have to remember. If you look at the values of azimuthal quantum number, azimuthal quantum numbers of these orbitals, for S, L is equal to 1, no, L is equal to 0, L is equal to 1, L is equal to 2 and L is equal to 3. See, it is matching with the angular node. So L is equal to 0, that means 0 angular node, L equal to 1, 1 angular node, L equal to 2, 2 angular node. That means in general what we can say later, that angular node can be simply calculated or predicted by using the value of azimuthal quantum number. If the question is like, let us say G as a subshell, how much will be the angular node? Then G as a subshell, L will be equal to 4. Then we can say angular node will be 4. So short formula will be, to find out angular node is that particular orbital's azimuthal quantum number will become the angular node. Now let us see radial node in detail because we have to study that in detail here. If I say, let us say X, Y, imagine Z is present, or I'll draw that. Okay. Now I'll draw 1s sphere. So this is 1s sphere. Don't consider it a circle, consider it a sphere. Now from the nucleus, all this area, all this sphere volume, you can expect 1s electron because it is simply revolving around the nucleus. You cannot expect any 2s, 3s electron inside this. So all this area, that means from here to this distance, from this distance, from this distance, in all the distance, there is no interference of other electrons. That means 1s electron present in all the distance here. So there is no some distance where you can expect electron is not present. You can expect all electrons are present there. That means for S, that is selectively, if I go for 1s, there is no radial node. For 1s, okay, no, I'll consider radial node here. So radial node is 0. Okay. Radial node is 0. Now let me draw 2s. So 2s is also spherical. Now if I draw spherical 2s, that is a bigger sphere. Now consider small sphere is present inside this bigger sphere. Now from the nucleus, if I start finding 2s electron, 2s electron may be present at all this distance, may be present at this distance inside also, because when I consider electron as a wave, they can have a constructive interference, constructive wave nature. That means what? One wave can coincide with other wave.
That means you don't think like that 2s electron cannot be present here. 2s electron can also be present here also, no problem. But this is the place where there you find the maximum probability of 1s electron. There you cannot expect 2s electron. That means wherever 1s electron is at the maximum probability, or 1s electron where you can expect maximum presence is there at that location, anywhere it may be, that distance what Bohr suggested as the Bohr radius, that hydrogen's radius we consider as 0.529 angstrom in it. So from here to here, that distance maybe 0.529 angstrom in it, that is a place where 1s electron is maximum found. We will do that calculation later. So but here you have to remember, this is the distance where you expect 1s electron to a maximum extent. Now remember, that is what Bohr called as shell. But when you talk about quantum mechanical model, electron is a waves. That means wave has to be distributed all over, the way light distributed all over the room. But unlike light, electron will be having maximum density at one position. And this is the distance where you expect 1s electron at the maximum distance. That is what Bohr called that particular length as first shell. So Bohr is not mathematically wrong, but he is conceptually wrong because he considered electron as a particle. But here mathematically whatever he said, that shell as first shell, where you can expect 1s electron at the maximum presence. So maximum probability of finding electron at this particular distance for 1s electron. Okay. So now this is the one place where you cannot expect 2s electron. That means for 2s you can expect one place at a distance, that may be any distance, node. So node means there 2s electron cannot be found. So I can say for 2s one node you can expect. This node due to 1s electron, because 1s electron is present inside that 2s. Now let me draw 3s. So if I draw 3s, I guess you can now easily understand 3s electron is present in all that sphere, including this sphere also. But that is, there are two places at 1s place and 2s place that is in maximum position. 1s is present at this distance at maximum position and 2s is at this distance. That means there are two places where you cannot expect 3s electron. From the nucleus you are starting the distance. From nucleus it is 0 and it is increasing. So for 3s there are two places you cannot expect, okay, 3s electron. Other than that you can expect everywhere. That means for 3s there are two radial nodes. At some radius you cannot expect that. So this is due to 1s and 2s. So likewise if I go further, for 4s if I say, definitely there will be three nodes, that is due to 1s, 2s and 3s. So likewise it will go. So radial node for s is possible, but how it changes? For ns it is no, there is no. For 2s it is 1, for 3s it is 2, and it continues like that. Radial node is possible, but for 1s it is not possible. So in that case 1s is the place where there is no radial node and there is no angular node. For 2s there is no angular node but there is a radial node. For 3s there is no angular node but there are two radial nodes. That is due to inner 1s and 2s. Like that you can understand. Now let us go to P. Now let us see possibility of radial node for p orbital. Very first p orbital we know that is 2p, because there is nothing like 1p present. So let me consider this as x and y. So if I want to write 2px, so this is 2px and 3px will be in the same axis but bigger in size. Okay, this is 3px. So 4px will be bigger in size but axis is same. Okay, 4px. Now one thing we have seen that there is an angular node that it can extend or it can be found only in particular direction. That's why P, D, F are called as directional orbitals. S is non-directional orbital because S can be present in all the directions. P, D, F are not present in all the directions. So if I selectively consider the orbital Px, it is true for all other orbitals also, but I am considering 2px. In that case, this particular go as a journey, like from in the x-axis. So 2px from here, from distance from nucleus to certain level, you can expect 2ps electron. That means all this place you can expect 2px electron in all this direction. Okay, maybe in x direction I need to consider here, because in 2py there is 2py electron. So that means 2px, or in general I can say 2p. That 2p orbital I am saying. So 2p orbital means it can be 2px orbital, 2py orbital, or 2pz orbital. So radial node if you expect, there is no radial node, because it in all the direction from nucleus to till some extent wherever it is present, you won't find where other electron is interfering. So all together that is 2px, because there is no 1p x, so 2px is the beginner. But when I talk about 3px is definitely it is present in all this dumbbell shape except where 2px is present in maximum amount. That means there may be some distance where 2px can be in the maximum amount. That is what the probability of finding electron at maximum. That may be some distance, some radius that can be calculated later. We are going to do that. So for 3px you will find a place where 2px is present in maximum extent. So that place will be considered as node for 3px. Why? Because 3px won't be found there, because 2px presence is maximum. Now you may think, don't you think 2px is present? Don't you think 2px is not present here? Of course 2px is present here, as well as 3px is also present here. But their presence is not much significant here. So dominance is not there. But 2px is more dominant at some distance. As distance changes, dominance will decrease. So wherever 2px is at maximum dominance or maximum probability, there you cannot expect 3px, because now you may think like, what is happening here? Think of two waves. One is 2px electron, another is 3px electron. They are moving in a wave manner. So it may happen, because they have to keep their individual identities, that they will occupy, otherwise their density will be maximum at some location. Because wave cannot be located, wave cannot be restricted at one position. Wave is moving here and there. If I consider atom, even 1s electron is also present all inside all parts of the atom. Maybe maximum probability is not present everywhere uniformly. I am saying 1s electron can be having its presence at the circumference also. If I talk about sodium, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Now 3s is the third shell, is the last shell. 1s electron can have its presence at till third shell also. But how much percentage of that is present at third shell level may be very negligible. It can be present at 95% at one location, and that 95% wherever it is present, that is what considered as 1s, and that is what considered 1s electron is maximum present there. So other 5% can be distributed anywhere inside the atom. So that means if I lit up a light waves are present everywhere. Maybe if I focus the light, and then what happens, at one place it is more focused, other place it is diffused. That means its density or its intensity is less at some other place, because I focused at some level. Same goes for electrons also. Electron can be focused at some position. That is what considered as maximum probability of finding electron. There we find maximum probability of finding electron. For 2px I am saying this is the place wherever I consider the shape, okay, that is considered as the maximum presence of 2px. And here 2px is present, 3px is also present, all are present, even 4px may be present here. Because of that only the shapes are like that. So that is because 2px is within 3px, 3px is within 4px. But some location where 2px, wherever it is present at maximum amount, there 3px cannot be having. So that means for 3p, orbital, this is true for any of the orbital, any 3p of different axis, 3px, 3py, 3pz, you can expect one radial node. This is due to 2px, 2p. When I go for 4p, inside 4px you can see there is one place where maximum 2px electron is present. There is one place where maximum 3px is present. That means these two specific space where 4px electron will be in less amount. Then I will ignore that place. So that means for 4p orbital, there are two radial node. So this is due to 2p as well as 3p, because 2p present inside 3p, 3p and 2p both are present inside 4p, because that is becoming bigger and bigger. So from this what you can understand, 2p is having no radial node, but that of 3p is having one radial node, 4p is having two radial node, and it continues like that. So one logical understanding here is the very first type of that category will always have zero radial node. So 2p is a beginner of that type, then it will be having 0. 1s is the beginner of S type, then it is having 0. So same thing you can do for D and F also. Logically it goes very well there also. Let me go for D. I'll go for dxy. So dxy, 3dxy if I do, because 3d is the very first orbital of that kind, I'll write 3dxy here. This is our first of that kind. Then 4dxy also will be in the same plane with bigger size, 4dxy. 5dxy again in the same orbital, 5dxy. Now 3dxy being the first from the nucleus, you can find it is present everywhere in particular distance. You won't find any interference of other electron. But when I go to 4dxy, 3dxy is present inside that at one position where 3dxy is in maximum amount. So 4dxy cannot have there will be an absence of 4dxy within the 4dxy place where 3dxy is in maximum amount. So what I can say here, 3d orbital and radial node is 0, because that is of very first type of orbital. But that of the 4d can have one orbital, that is due to 3d, due to 3d. That of 5d will have 2, that is due to 3d and 4d. So possible very first one is 3d, which will be having radial node 0. That of 4d will be having 1, 5d will be having 2, and that continues. If you look at the trend, F can be easily understood. The very first F orbital is 4f. So 4f will have 0 radial node, 5f will have 1, 6f will have 2, and that will continue like this. So in this way you can remember how many radial nodes are possible. Now the formula that I have given to you to find out angular node is simply azimuthal quantum number. Now if you check the order of radial nodes in each case, you can find out how many radial nodes are possible. Since that is varying for each shell, 1s, 2s, 3s, you cannot expect a formula, but I will tell you formula like this to find out radial node n minus L minus 1. Go for 1s. 1s, n is what? 1. L is what? 0. And minus 1. So this is 0. So that's what we got. For 2s, n is 2. S is 0 and L is, oh sorry, that is minus 1, so that becomes 1. I'll go for 3D. 3D, N is what? 3. D is what? 2. Minus 1. So 3 minus 3, that is 0. So this formula for radial node and this formula for angular node can be calculated, used to calculate, okay, how many radial node and angular node are possible. So total nodes can be calculated by simply adding radial node plus angular node. This becomes total node. So this is n minus L minus 1 plus L. So this is n minus 1 becomes the total nodes. Now let us understand that probability of finding electron in detail. For each orbital we are going to understand this. Let me just represent probability of finding an electron as a function of radius, because we are going to find electron throughout the radius. So in a distance we are going, I'll consider as psi of r as a function of radius, or call it as r, capital letter R. R of r, you can say r is fine. Now what we can expect? This is very much theoretical, anybody can predict this. For 1s if I talk about, if I'm considering probability of finding electron as a function of r as a radius, as a function of radius, what I can expect is probability of finding electron near the nucleus is maximum, because the shape of 1s or spherical, if you consider, which is entirely covering the nucleus. So where its presence will be maximum, definitely near the center we can assume. Why? Because there will be a maximum force of attraction, there is no hindrance, because spherically occupied, there is no restriction of angle, there is no restriction of axis, they can cover anywhere. So that means maximum probability we can expect for electron, 1s electron, is near the nucleus, because r equal to 0 means it is near the nucleus, not at the nucleus, which is not possible. So I will start from here, then gradually as radius increases, so its presence becomes less. You cannot put somewhere here, because as long as radius goes, that 1s electron can be present maximum near the center, but its presence will now decrease as you go away from the nucleus. Even let us say if it is of atom of 3 shells, that 1s electron can be present till third shell also, but how much it is present at third shell may be very less to be neglected. But that's the reason why we cannot, you have to show that continuity. Wherever that atom size goes, till there 1s electron will go, but its presence will be now becomes less than 0 point, or less than 1%, and maximum we can think of near the nucleus. For 2s if you predict this, how it will be? Similarly, probability of finding electron as a function of radius. Similarly, there is no difference here, because 2s is also spherical in nature. You won't find, electrons can be present anywhere here, so its presence can be maximum and near the center. Then, okay, what happens? Maximum near the center, I will show here, maximum. Now, there may be some, definitely 1s electron is present near the center in maximum amount. For example, let me just show this. This is x, y. 1s is present here. So now 2s electron can be present near the nucleus to a maximum extent. But as radius increases, there will be some place where 1s electron can be found. There you cannot expect 2s electron. Thereafter, its presence can be now again considered maximum, or there may be some significant increase in the amount. So how we can understand this? I can extend this to level where I can show probability of finding 0. So this is probability of finding electron. So here y axis becomes 0. That means this is, I can consider where 1s electron is present, and that is what we can consider this one what node. And thereafter you can expect some presence of that, and that will continue tending to 0. So this is what we considered node where 1s electron is present. So that's what we have seen. Radial node for 2s is 1. So radial node is 1. If I go for 3s, if I draw the graph of probability of finding electron as a function of radius for 3s versus radius, since again it is spherical in nature, you can expect maximum near the center, near the nucleus. Thereafter it is decreasing and there will be 1s electron. So you can show that psi equal to 0. Node is the place where probability becomes 0. That means psi becomes 0. Next, after 1s you get, then you can see some probability of 3s electron here. I need to show some probability. Then 2s will come. So 2s is again the node there. That means maximum probability of 2s electron there. Then you can expect 3s electron. And gradually its presence becomes what? Tending to 0. But till where atom is there, so till there you can expect that to extend. So here in the case of 3s you can see this is the one place and this is the one place. There you can expect node. So here radial node are 2. So psi equal to 0 is the place where you can expect radial node. Now if I go for 2p, okay, for 2p if I do this, now 2p wise, remember that is not spherical, that is dumbbell. Now in the case of dumbbell what happens? So psi of r versus r. In the case of dumbbell, if I use this as a model right now to explain, in the case of dumbbell only expect these two balls here. In the case of dumbbell what happens, center is the place, the nucleus is a place where its presence is not there actually, because its presence maximum only at this particular level, only at the corner, not at the center. Center you won't expect that. That means from 0 radius, that means 0 distance if you start, its presence, 2p's presence is 0 you can expect. Then if you increase the distance you can expect maximum probability. Then again it will go less and less, it will come to 0 or tending to 0. That means in the case of 2p, for that matter any d also, because d also dumbbell in shape. Whenever you talk about dumbbell, the center wise its presence is 0, only at the corner its presence is there, or only at the corner, and thereafter if you go beyond that radius then its presence becomes 0 now, or tending to 0. So that means what? In this case you can expect in the near the center its presence is less, at one distance it will be maximum, then again it will go down. Why? Because I've told you that in the case of, let us say 2px, this is x and this is y. So near the center its presence is 0, at this position it is maximum. Thereafter at this particular radius you cannot, at this particular distance you cannot expect 2p, definitely, because when I go for 3p, at this distance minimum, here you can expect node, again it will be maximum, now it will go down. So here for 3p if I do, R and R. So since it is again dumbbell, you cannot expect its presence near the nucleus. So some presence you can expect after that. Then 2p will come. That place you cannot give. That is a place where you can not expect 3p electron. then it will show some probability, then it will go like this. So you expect one node 1 where psi is equal to 0, and that is due to 2p. In the case of 2p you cannot expect any node because that is the very first thing. So this is how we can draw probability of finding electron as a function of radius. But same graph is sometimes modified. How? Let's see. Instead of probability of finding electron as a function of radius, if I draw probability density if I draw as a function of an electron as a function of radius, if I draw, this is represented as psi square as a function of r, otherwise you can consider r square. So for, let us say, 1s, how I can do this, r square versus r. So here density, probability density. See, when I talk about density, what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide with the volume. Now if I consider, okay, this is x and this is y and z is present there, I'm talking about spherical 1s. Remember, electrons are revolving here and there, okay. Now maybe near the nucleus you cannot consider most part of the electron, otherwise I would say the distribution of electron is not uniform. Distribution of electron is not uniform, it is present at maximum position and that it will be scattered all over. That means I would say at one distance from the nucleus it will be present at maximum, otherwise its probability of finding that electron at some distance will be maximum. It doesn't mean that it is not present over here or it is not present after that. It is present here near the nucleus as well as after that maximum density area. So it is like, if I consider this is of sphere, there may be some place where you can expect maximum probability of electron. So it is neither very near to the nucleus nor far away from the nucleus, it will be within the 1s orbital. So that means when I do like this, for 1s orbital, electron density near the nucleus will not be, definitely it will be present, but it will not be maximum. At one position it will be maximum, then it will decrease. So the place where it is present at maximum, that is what Bohr considered as first shell. Now remember, 1s, when I say spherically, it is actually the total volume available for 1s electron to move. It doesn't mean that electron is distributed uniformly all over. So electron can be present maximum at some location, and that is the distance where Bohr said as first shell. So we can say where you consider maximum probability density, that can be considered as radius. Otherwise, radius of first shell or radius of 1s, that is what for hydrogen got as 0.529 angstrom minute. For 2s, if I do, for 2s, then r square versus r. Here what we have to understand, like this. Of course there is 1s where you can expect maximum density of electron at somewhere here, and thereafter one more 2s, so there also you can expect some maximum density area. There its presence is maximum. So from the nucleus if I start, so where 1s electron is at maximum distance, there you cannot expect 2s electron to be maximum. So maybe 2s electron is present here, maybe 2s electron is present here, but wherever 1s electron is at maximum amount, there you cannot expect 2s. So that means again it will start from minimum. So it will increase to some value over here, maybe at this level. The moment 1s comes, then it has to show minimum presence there. Thereafter its own area comes. Then you can show like this. So you don't need to show like this, you have to show the continuity. So probability density of 2s electron, you cannot expect more maximum at the center, at the nucleus, but it will increase and there will be a place where 1s electron is present, so you cannot expect them. So thereafter it will continue like this. So for 3s, if you draw r square versus r, same goes. Near the nucleus you won't expect much, but thereafter density will be more, then 1s will come, so 2s will come, then it will go like this. So it's the 3s electron distributed in 3 different ways, like maximum, definitely maximum near the nucleus, no doubt, but it values decreases like this. Now you may expect why I am not writing below this baseline, because here we have the value of r as r square. Even if you square negative values, it will become positive, so you cannot expect anything beyond this baseline. So this can be here said as node. So 1, here node you can expect 2, since it is for 3s, 1s and 2s nodes can be expected there. So r square is always a positive value, so you can have values only above the baseline. So for 2p, if you draw, in the case of 2p, it is very similar to that of 1s, because in this case this is the very first orbital of this type, p type. So in that particular axis, its presence will be minimum at the center, then it will increase, then it will go down. But for 2p, but for 3p, if I see this, then there will be a node in between because of 2p, r square, only possible values are positive there. So near the center there will be nothing, then it will be maximum possibility, then there will be a node, then it will go like this. So graph of 3p and 2s will appear similar. Why? Because it is the second orbital of that type. In s type this is the second orbital, in p type 3p is the second orbital. The trend will go similarly. Now if I go for I would say 4p will be having graph very similar to that of 3s. So that is how we have to understand. Now there is one more way to represent same graphs. Let's see that. If I don't want to compare density, probability density, if I want to compare mass distribution of electron, how electron is distributed, then what I need to do, I need to multiply with volume, because if I multiply density with volume, then remaining is mass. So now let us see that graph. Probability mass distribution. Probability mass distribution of an electron as a function of radius. So now I need to multiply volume, but which volume I need to multiply here? That volume where the probability density is maximum. For example, if I consider 1s orbital, let us say this is 1s orbital. I have told you that not all the place where you can expect electrons, there is a one maximum place where you can expect maximum number of maximum density of electrons. So what I want is, I want only this particular radius to be this particular volume has to be multiplied, this one. So if I want only this volume to be multiplied, because that will also only give us maximum mass distribution, because that is the only place where you can expect maximum electrons. So I need to calculate this from here to here, let us say r, and from here to here, let us say small dr, small distance. So I want, this is like a tire type of stuff. It is neither tire, I would say bigger sphere, and there is a smaller sphere, and the remaining part, that volume I need to multiply. So how much it will be? That volume due to dr, if I want to calculate, then I need to subtract bigger sphere's volume minus small sphere's volume. So big sphere volume minus small sphere volume, then I'll get the volume of that dr distance. Big sphere volume will be 4 by 3 pi r plus dr cube, minus small sphere volume will be 4 by 3 pi r cube, because we have considered smaller r as the radius of smaller sphere. Let me just draw that properly again. So this is the place where you can expect maximum presence of electrons. So when we calculate this, we'll expect this has 4 by 3. So this is cubic equation. So 4 pi, this will be r cube plus dr cube plus 3 r dr r plus dr. So we have to solve cubic equation. Then our 4 by 3 pi r cube. So if I multiply inside, r cube plus dr cube plus 3r square dr plus 3r dr square into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now dr is a very small distance. So if you square or cube small distance, then what happens, it will go further smaller. So this one dr cube and this 3r dr square I'll neglect, because squaring and cubing the things will become further smaller. I'll just keep other parts. So 4 by 3 pi r cube plus 3r square dr, I just keep only that much, minus 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 4 by 3 pi r cube plus 4 by 3 into 3r square dr minus 4 by 3 pi r cube. So these two will get cancelled and this 3 will get cancelled, remaining 4. What about pi here? So this is pi is there, 4 pi r square dr. So this is the volume of that small place where you find maximum density. So now we are going to multiply this particular small volume with the density. So how it will be for different orbitals. Let's start with 1s. So for 1s, I'm going to have now probability distribution, not probability density. Probability distribution is actually probability density into this volume. So probability density is r square into 4 pi r square dr. So density into volume will give us mass distribution. So we want mass distribution as a function of radius. Now what will happen here? We already know the graph that density, okay, in the beginning for 1s won't be there, but later on what happens, that will increase. But here you just remember r is present. R is actually radius. At very first position r will be 0, that means entire term will be 0, that means it will start from the origin here. It will start from the origin because r is 0 in the beginning. As r increases, we also know the density increases, and as r increases, this value also will get multiplied to this, so that will go like this. Now at one point our density value will decrease, that means distribution density will decrease. Then what happens, this particular multiplication with that smaller thing will also get decreased, and the graph will look like this. But for 2s, if I see this, for 2s, remember this decrease is not due to increasing r anyway is getting increased. This value will always will be becoming bigger and bigger. But that of the distribution, we know at only one position it is maximum, thereafter its value will decrease. It is like density, maximum density, initially it was, let us say 1, 2, 3, it will become 10, thereafter it will become 9, 8, 7, 6 like that. So thereafter value will decrease. Though this particular value is increasing, the resultant multiplication will decrease. So for 2s, if I draw r square 4 pi r square dr versus r, here initial value of r is 0, so that means it has to start from the origin. When you start from the origin, as r increases, value will increase definitely. Then in between there will be probability density will be 0 because 1s electron will come. That means there will be a point where entire term will become 0 again, because the distribution r square is becoming density becoming 0 because of presence of 1s. Thereafter again presence will increase, but r is also increasing. Because of that, what happens, this particular will be a bigger peak as compared to the initial one. If you compare the graph with simply r square, there you have seen this is r square and this is r. There you have seen it is increasing, thereafter there is a node, and then there will be decrease. Then maximum density is present over here, thereafter it will become less and less. But in the case of wherever volume is multiplied, there the next peak will be bigger. Why? Because radius is increasing. In between there will be a node because r becomes 0, r square becomes 0, probability density becomes 0. That's the reason why entire term will become 0. But when r square started increasing, that means density started increasing to a amount, but this particular term is having higher value because of higher r value, this radius value, the density becomes more. Now if I write for 3s, for 3s it will be, so this is node, one node you can expect here. So for 3s, now r square 4 pi r square dr versus r. So initial will be 0 here because probability r is 0, small letter r is 0. Then it will increase. Then 2s will come there, r square is 0, so then it will be coming here. Again it will try to increase. Then 2s will come there, the probability density becomes 0. Then finally 3s will come. Now remember, there is an increase in peak because of r square. We are increasing the distance. The same graph if you see for simple r square versus r, there the maximum probability near the nucleus you can expect, then little less, then less. It will go like this. It's reverse over here because you are multiplying the radius square. So as you go away, then radius square has to be multiplied. That means the peak will become bigger and bigger. For 2p, if you do here, for 2p, remember 2p will be the first type of, okay, that kind. So r square 4 pi r square dr, initially 0 because r is 0, then it will increase, go like this, very similar to that of this. For 3p, you can expect the graph similar to that of 2s. R square 4 pi r square dr and r here. This is graph and there is a node due to 2p. Then it will increase, it will go like this. So remember, graphs are very much similar, but how you do that? So there is a trick to understand this that we will see now. Let us understand all that graphs in a single place, because there is a trick to understand this. In the case of 1s, we know what we expect, that is what this graph looks like. Okay, the first one. So let me just complete the first one. 1s being spherical, we expect maximum it's present near the nucleus and thereafter the value decreases. Whenever I say spherical, same goes for 2s. But when I go for 2s, remember 1s, that node will appear. That's why I just go like this. Once it goes, then it will be shown like this. Because r can have negative value. Because r is not square, only squaring things will make the things all values positive. Otherwise r can have negative, which is practically ridiculous because probability of finding something is negative. Probability can be 0 or probability can be positive, but probability cannot be negative, but you have to understand here. So for 3s, see now we are increasing, so again the graph will be like this. Now it will go up because you need to show 2 nodes. Now if you do for 4s or 5s, nature will be maximum at the center, at the nucleus, and that will go, and you have to go up and down till how many nodes you have to show. So you know, for 3s you have to show 2 nodes, then you can show like this, radial nodes. This is how you can do for s, that starting maximum at near the nucleus and then going down. And remember where to cut that line based on how many nodes you want. For 2s you want 1 node, so you can cut here. For 3s you want 2 nodes, cut once, again go there, cut twice and go further. So don't touch there, so because that continuity has to be shown. For 2p or for p orbital, 2p is the first of that kind, and 2p, unlike spherical, it is not spherical, it is dumbbell in shape. When I say dumbbell, at the center its presence will be minimum. That means I cannot show maximum at the center, I need to show minimum at the center. Then after it will become maximum, then I can show like this. Because 2p is of first kind, you cannot show node. But that for 3p I need to show 1 node because of 2p. Then I will show here, then I will cut this. Then it will go like this. I need to cut and it will go down because it is r, it is not r square. I need to go down. I need to show 1 1 node there. For 4p it is very easy. I can go from minimum, maximum, 1 node, and I can cut again and go up and show there. So this is how we can go for p. For d also it will go remain same. I would say 3d and 2p will have same, because both are dumbbell, that means they have to start from minimum, and 3d is of first type of that kind, so that means the graph will be same. So what I can do here, I can say that graph of 1s, 2p, 3d and 4f will be same. Okay, graph of 1s, 2p, 3d, 4f will be same. Only the difference in the case of 1s is start maximum. Okay, start with maximum amount. In this case, start with minimum because of dumbbell shape. That you have to remember. Otherwise, if I randomly say 1s, see, this is 1s graph will look like. 2p graph will look like this without node. 3d will look like this only. 4f will look like this only. Because all the three are dumbbells, so they will start from minimum. So only exception is this one, but you won't find any node. In any place in these cases, you won't find any node. They are the first type of orbital of that kind. Next, similarly 2s, see cuts like this, it will have one node. 3p will also have one node. That means I can also say 2s, 3p, 4d, 5f will have same graph. Okay. Only the difference is 2s will start with maximum and these three will start with minimum because dumbbell type. That is the only difference. Otherwise graph will remain same, and definitely distance will also remain same. Nature of the graph is same. Same thing you can extend for 3s, 4p, 5d and 6f also. Now let us go to next type. When you square that, definitely you cannot expect, graph below the base. So when you square this, what is going to happen? Just the same thing, because you are just squaring that. Here and go like this, because now this particular will be above the baseline. In this case, go like this. In the case of 2p, this is for s orbital, you can think like this. For 2p, it starts from the basic, from the minimum. So there is no difference because you are simply squaring. But in this case, since it is squaring, so that will be only up. Remember, first graph will be maximum, then it will be, the peak will be big and then it will go down smaller. When I multiply that small volume, 4 pi r square dr, then what happens? So in this case, r square, that means radius square. So at this position, radius square will be 0. That means entire thing will be 0. So I need to start from 0 here. And we know density becomes maximum at one position. So that means at some position it will be maximum, then it will be like this. For 2s, again r square, that means radius square is 0 at this position. So I need to start from 0. I need to show maximum at one position. I need to show that cut because of 1s electron is present there. Thereafter I need to show the maximum distribution of electron. So remember, 2s electron may not be present in maximum mass wise. I am saying mass wise it won't be present at maximum inside the 1s orbital. It will be present maximum at 2s position, right? So that's why this is the mass distribution I am saying. Mass distribution wise, it has to be, its maximum presence has to be outside the 1s orbital. Maybe it is present inside 1s also, but that may not be the maximum one. So in the case of 3s, starts with 0, cut because of 1s, cut because of 3s, then it will continue like this. So remember, its mass distribution must be more outside the 2s. So there may be some mass distribution inside 1s that can be shown. 2s little more, because sphere wise it is bigger sphere. 2s is bigger sphere. So maybe 3s electrons presence may be more in 2s area, but maximum outside the 2s. So that can be shown like this. For 2p, it is starting from 0. That's why we can also here also, because r square is 0, you can show here. It goes like this, and here same thing. We are showing the maximum probability and then multiplying that. For 3p, 3p, its presence will be less inside 2p and more will be outside 2p. So if you look at the graphs here, as I told you, 1s, 2p, 3d, 4f will be similar. Now 1s is this one, 2p is this one. Look at these two are same. You can go for 3d also, it will remain same. 2s and 3p, 4d, 3f same. So 2s is this one and 3p is this one. So you can look at these two, they are same. So there is one logic, I think you can get that so that you can remember.